Pro Tour Hour of Devastation is in the books and aggro reigns supreme. 6 decks out of the top 8 were either mono red aggro or a variant of it. The other 2, mono black zombies and black green constrictor. Creature based decks are everywhere. Although the format might seem hyper aggressive, I feel like we have enough information to build a competitive control deck that can stifle the meta. This is blue black control and Hour of Devastation standard.
Aggro versus control is a battle as old as Magic itself. Aggro is fast and aggressive and tends to go under slower strategies. Control seeks to win by controlling the early game and winning in the late game with huge threats and game-winning spells. Let's take a look at the namesake of the deck. Torment of Hailfire is a black sorcery that costs 2 black and X that reads, repeat the following process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. So how do we make this effective? By limiting our opponent's resources right from the start. Removal and hand control are key. We're playing 4 Fatal Push, 3 Grasp of Darkness, 1 To the Slaughter, and a single Essence Extraction. Fatal Push takes care of early threats and handles most of Mono Red's creatures. Grasp of Darkness handles larger threats like On-Crop Crasher. Oh, and did I mention it kills Hazoret? To the Slaughter can deal with her too, plus it helps us deal with Planeswalkers. Essence Extraction deals 3 damage and can gain us 3 life. Life gain is important if we hope to make it to the late game. If for some reason the board state gets too crazy, we have a copy of Bontu's Last Reckoning. For 3 mana we can destroy all creatures on the field, but time it wisely because your lands won't untap next upkeep. Now what about hand control? 4 copies of Harsh Scrutiny can discard any creature from our opponent's hand, plus we get to scry 1. You'd be surprised how important that is. We get to look at our opponent's hand first and then set up our next turn. Finally, we have 3 copies of Torment of Hailfire. This card can shine anytime your opponent is low on cards, low on board state, or low on life. It's truly the total package. Now on to the counter spells. We have 3 Censor, 2 Essence Scatter, 2 Supreme Will, and 2 Dissalow. Censor handles early spells and can punish your opponent anytime they tap out. Essence Scatter catches all creatures and keeps them off the field. Supreme Will acts like a catch-all and offers us card selection as well. The ability to dig 4 cards deep is insane. Disallow just says, no, you can't do that. All of these help us make the most of Torment of Hailfire by keeping our opponent's resources extremely limited. But how do we keep going and keep gas in the tank? Card draw. Card draw is essential for any control deck seeking to turn the corner in the late game or find the right answers to the problem at hand. We run 2 Hieroglyphic Illumination and 4 Glimmer of Genius. Hieroglyphic Illumination allows us early card draw and nets us 2 cards when we hardcast it. Glimmer gets us 2 energy, allows us to scry 2, then draws us 2 cards, all at instant speed. Speaking of instants, 3 copies of Torrential Gearhulk let us recast any of the plethora of instants that we might have in our graveyard. Do you need another Grasp of Darkness? Maybe you need to counter another spell. The Gearhulk has you covered. Plus, it's a 5/6. This thing can finish off games after you've depleted your opponent's resources and cast a Torment. Our land base is pretty straightforward. 4 Choked Estuary, 4 Sunken Hollow, a playset of Aether Hub, 2 Fetid Pools for color fixing and card draw, 6 islands, and 5 swamps. No shenanigans here. Now it's time to talk sideboard. As always, keep in mind your sideboard should depend on what your local meta looks like, but this is what I got for you. Against aggro, we have 3 Thing in the Ice, 2 Bontu's Last Reckoning, and another copy of Essence Extraction. I cannot stress enough how crucial that life gain is against hyper-aggressive strategies. For control matchups, we have 2 Dispel, 3 Negates, a To the Slaughter, and 3 Transgress the Mind. To the Slaughter helps us against Planeswalkers, and Transgress the Mind is great against high-cost threats our spot removal can't deal with. As always, we run Dispel and Negate so we have protection against our opponent's counterspells.
That's all for today. Let me know what you think about the deck in the comments section. Would you run the Scarab God as an additional win condition? Or would you play more hand control? I would love to hear your feedback. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss anything from Mind Sculpting MTG. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next upkeep.